Hip hop to me it's a culture. I kind of go by the 5 elements that African man body use, which is b-boying, graffiti, DJing, MC, and knowledge. I think that's a big important aspect of hip hop because a lot of people don't really key into the knowledge and the history of it. So.
Many people give credit to its origin in New York around the late 1970s. But I would say that it's a continuation of various African music traditions that culminated in the current generation in the late 70s expressing themselves because they were often in what you would say were destitute situations where they wanted to express themselves with what was available, whether it be spray paint, different whatever material they could find to come up with a musical form that involved reciting poetry over a rhythmic beat at a whether it was fast-paced, slow-paced, or somewhere in between.
Hip hop to me is more of a lifestyle. I always say hip hop is what I live, rap is what I do.
I think hip hop's place in society is more of a negative thing. Cause you see all these images on TV. You got these drug dealers, black rappers always want to be in jail, just different things like that. Just the images on TV make the societal view kind of negative, but it's bigger than that.
Well, I mean, the industry is certainly controlled by a handful of mostly elite white male business executives for the purpose of maintaining what I would argue is a continuing domestic colonialism. Initially, of course, the cultural expression is controlled by the population that produces it, in this case mostly Black America, but others, of course, are involved. And so it really depends at what level you're talking about. And then it can get a little more complicated than that to the extent that people are manipulated from communities outside of their own. Hip-hop you could argue that hip-hop, even as it's seemingly produced naturally from a community, is in fact controlled by a ruling elite in the way that people are manipulated into behaving in certain forms and patterns that appear as normal or natural, but may in fact be externally controlled. So,
hip-hop is controlled. It's a two-sided coin, I would say. You definitely have a corporate influence because they're going to use the culture as a means of marketing products to make money, but then you also have people that are able to take hip-hop and put it in their own direction.
It's more of a what control hip-hop, it's money. I mean, money is what why people get into hip-hop, because they want to get the dollar bills.